Everyone, welcome to another Josh Wonders Why. It is Christmas edition, as you can see by our
Yes.
festive decorations
It's
in the
so
back.
warm and cozy by the fire here.
It is, which I really use today. I didn't realize how cold and snowy it was outside.
I know. I didn't know it was going to snow. I was kind of excited.
With the snow?
Yeah, I like
It's fun to
snow.
watch, but it's not fun to drive in.
It was a little slick, but it was all right.
So for tonight at Josh Wonders Why, are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, just making sure. It made a flicker
Yep.
and I was confused. Okay, sorry. Tonight, Josh Wonders Why, we will be having some Christmas fun, and we will start off the Christmas season, the Advent season, by talking about our favorite Christmas songs. They could be any songs.
was
They
hard.
could be hymns. They could be secular. They could be, I don't know, folk songs or whatever. So
Yeah.
it was hard to narrow it down to 5.
Yeah. I mean, and I can't say, oh, these are my top 5.
Yeah.
These were 5 songs I really like.
Yeah, same here. So we'll be talking about that tonight, and I do. Finally last Friday, I posted the same question to the online group to ask what were their favorite songs, or what were your favorite songs. So we'll get to that in a minute as well, or maybe at the end we can go through that. I should probably pull it up. But if you're watching us live and you didn't put that in the for Finally Friday post, type in the comments here. Kelly will be monitoring the comments, so I'd be curious to get your feedback on what you think, I guess, what our favorite songs are and how that relates to your favorite songs.
Yeah.
So, as much as I like this background and want to stay in the warmth, we can move on and start talking about
Yes, we can.
favorite songs.
Yes.
So let's see. I'm going to try something new with the screen in the background and trying to drive with PowerPoint. We'll see how well this works. Hopefully it comes through on the screen okay. We'll find out. So I'll start. So you see top 5 favorite Christmas songs. I'll start. We'll go in descending order, although I'm not sure this is the rank. This is just the
No.
order I put them in.
Yeah.
So
It's
we'll go
not
with that.
really my rank, but
So we'll see. So number 5 for me is going to be the 12 Days of Christmas, but not just any version. I really enjoy the John Denver and the Muppets version.
oh.
Do you remember that? Have you
I
heard
don't.
that?
I'm sure I have. I don't really. It's not coming to mind, but I'm sure I've heard it.
It's a favorite of I had growing up. My mom was a big John Denver fan,
Okay.
so she had this album.
Okay.
And then it's a favorite of our kids. We used to have it in our van. We would play it every Christmas. And
There you
essentially
go.
it's 12 Days of Christmas, and each of the different Muppets sings one of the 12 days as they go down.
Is it still the 12 days?
It is. They
okay.
sing the exact same.
It's
I know
not
there's been
like-
parodies, but this is the exact same.
Like 2 Tickle Me Elmos or anything
Nope.
like that.
But Miss Piggy does 5 Golden Rings, and she is very.
Okay.
She draws it out. It's fun to watch if you watch the YouTube clip.
I will have to look that up.
So it came out in 1979. There was a special that John Denver did, and it's a pretty fun rendition to listen to. And it's probably not the best song because it's pretty repetitive. I felt bad. This is sort of aside, but when my daughter used to play piano, we went to a Christmas piano recital, and there was one person that had to play this. And I think after like the 4th day, it's like, okay, this is getting tiring.
Oh, just piano?
Yeah.
Aw.
So I'm not sure. Maybe she enjoyed playing it, but I was like, after the 4th day, it's just the same. Repeat, repeat,
Yeah.
repeat.
Just keep adding on.
Yeah.
Keep getting longer with each verse.
So this one is an enjoying one to me. So let's look at your number 5.
Okay. Christmas Time is Here. That is, of course, from A Charlie Brown Christmas, which was first aired right after I was born, I think, because it was aired in 1965 in December.
Okay.
And it almost didn't get on the air because the bigwigs at the studio were just appalled that they had used real children to voice the characters.
Really?
And it just sounded so stilted, and it sounded like kids. And yeah, they thought, oh, this is going to flop. This is terrible. And Vince Guaraldi, who wrote all the music for it, he was big in jazz, and so it's a very jazzy,
It's a good soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Overall, yeah.
And so he wrote this. Christmas Time is Here. He wrote it just as like an instrumental piece. But he was like, oh, this is so nice. This would really be good with some lyrics to it. Well, he couldn't find anybody who would write the lyrics, so he just did it himself. Sat down at his kitchen table, and in 10 minutes he had the song. So I wish I could be that
Just 10 minutes.
that talented.
Just knock out those lyrics in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, and Charlie Brown Christmas. It's such a classic. That almost didn't make it, and
It is crazy.
I'm sure it didn't help. Probably there was a black child in the show, so in the '60s maybe that wasn't as.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they didn't like that either, but yeah, they thought it was going to be a terrible flop, and it turned out to be a classic.
I read something about just Charlie Brown in general. Now, this could be mixing up this with a different comic, but I think I remember reading that you mentioned the black character. Mm-hmm. But I think originally the publishers of the newspaper said, we're not going to print your comic unless you make him white. And he said, either you print it black or you don't print it at all.
Yeah.
And he won with that, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
That was probably the first black character in a comic at the time, maybe? I don't know. In mainstream.
That wasn't being parodied.
I guess that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Christmas time is here, 12 Days of Christmas. Let's see. So number 4 for me is Still, Still, Still. So this is an old Australian Christmas carol. I believe it's Steel, Steel, Steel in German or Austrian. I said Australian, I mean Austrian. And their rendition I like the most is the Tabernacle Choir, but this has been, I think it's been a hymn, I don't know, since the 1800s. So it's a folk tune that came out in 1865 in Austria, and I just think it's a very peaceful tune. Everybody's going to say Silent Night or something else, but this is similar, but it's a nice peaceful tune, and it's got a nice harmony that goes along with it. So
getting warm from the fireplace, I guess.
You are.
Or maybe it's the coffee.
Oh, you're just going to show off your Christmas shirt too.
That
You wore
too.
a Christmas shirt.
Triple dog dare.
So this is my favorite one. I never heard about it until college or high school, and then one of the kids in my youth group actually sang this as a solo at our Christmas Eve service. And I never heard it before, but it stuck in my head, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you have for number 4?
Okay, number 4, I have A Little Town of Bethlehem. And I don't know, I've just always liked this one. I've liked the words and just the music. This was written first as a poem. This was a pastor in the 1800s, Phillips Brooks. He wrote this poem for his Sunday school class, his kids' Sunday school class, because he had been in the Holy Land during the Civil War, and he would write to his children's Sunday school class. And then when he got back, he wrote this poem for them, and he was kind of reflecting on how awful the war had been and how peaceful it was in Bethlehem, and just the experience that he had, this positive experience he had in the Holy Land. And so he wrote this poem, and then it was set to music, and
So you say he wrote just the lyrics, and then they put music to it afterwards? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. We both picked hymns for number 4. I don't know.
There you go.
Let's just chance it out. So next one is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I guess my favorite version of all time is sung by, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong because I always do, Francesca Battistelli. And she's a Christian artist. I'm not sure if she has any songs out now, but this came out maybe like 10 or 15 years ago. And it's a pretty neat rendition of it. But I never knew this, but it was written actually for the 1944 movie Meet Me in St. Louis by Judy Garland. I've seen bits and pieces of that movie, but I've not seen this.
And it's
this part of
actually
it.
just a heart-wrenching song in the.
Oh, it is. So I picked a sad song for the. Okay.
Yeah, in the movie.
What?
I don't know that I've ever seen the movie, but like I've seen Judy Garland sing it in the movie. Like
and
she's
emotionally
that
like
clip.
sad. You
and
can tell.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody help me out. But I feel like it was they, family separated because of the war.
Okay.
And so it was kind of talking about that.
Okay.
Next year we'll all be together if the fates allow. Yeah.
So the one that Francesca Battistelli does is really upbeat, has an upbeat tempo, so it makes you feel happy, and probably not as slow and somber.
I always thought it was
Garland's.
a happy song until I found out that it was part of that movie.
But there you go.
Yeah,
if you don't want to have a Merry Christmas, listen to Judy Garland's version. It will probably make you depressed. But yeah, Francesca Bettistelli. What we probably should do, if I can get it, we can put together a playlist for YouTube
Yeah,
with these
I
10
was
songs.
thinking about that.
And maybe everybody else's songs as well.
Yeah.
So there we go. What's your number 3?
Oh, number 3, the Wexford Carol.
I have not heard about this. I've not heard this one.
And I'm surprised you haven't heard because it's probably the oldest carol on our list because
Okay.
it came about in the 12th century,
Okay.
which is
So it's
also
been around a long time then. I'm
which
surprised I haven't
is
heard about it then.
also why you probably aren't familiar with it.
Okay.
Although a lot of people, like Julie Andrews, has done a recording of it. I can't remember who else. Several people, several famous singers have done recordings of it. And actually, I found out about, I think I must have been in college or just out of college, and I would get sample music from music companies. And this was one of the choral arrangements, and I'd never heard it before. But I just kind of fell in love with it. I mean, clearly because it's from County Wexford in Ireland. So of
okay.
course I'm going to love it because it's Irish. So the music itself is probably from the 12th century, and then I think the words may have been added later, but the words were never in Irish. They were, I mean, there's an Irish translation of it, but the earliest renditions they have of it, they're in English. So
Really? So
But,
would I recognize this tune if I heard it? Is it a familiar
probably
tune?
Not.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can try to sing a little bit, but don't hold me. You know, I'm not ready to sing. But somebody said I needed to hum the tune of something.
Oh, they did? Okay.
People, all this Christmas time, consider well and bear in mind what our good God for us has done in sending His beloved Son. It sounds a lot better with the accompaniment part. But anyway,
I don't know if I've heard that one. I'll have to check it out
probably
on YouTube.
not. It's not.
So Julie Andrews has a good version or a more modern version maybe?
I don't know. I just know she's recorded
Oh,
it.
she's okay.
Yeah, several people have recorded it, but I have a lot of like CDs of Celtic carols.
Yeah.
And so it's on some of those. But
Do you have
I just
the
really like the lyrics of it. It's just all about the nativity.
Do you have the Wren Collective Christmas album?
No.
Okay, I'm
I
curious
don't.
because they have some interesting songs in there that I think are based off maybe more Irish based.
Oh,
Songs.
well, yeah.
So I was just curious if you
So,
listened to it.
no.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out too.
So next up,
Oh, sorry, people are just tuning
What?
out because I sang, and they're like, "Ooh, okay." No, I'm just
You
kidding.
mean they're tuning
Sorry.
out?
Yeah, they're
Oh.
tuning. No, I'm just kidding.
we'll try to get
I
it
mean,
back
we have a lot
together.
of people watching with us, and I'm really happy about that.
Okay.
And I'm
If
excited
you have any
that you're
favorite
tuning
songs,
in.
yeah, put
Yeah.
in your favorite songs in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll get to those in a minute. So 2 for me is "Go Tell It on the Mountain." This I think I've always loved this song, and it was my favorite rendition is sung by Zach Williams. He has really good, maybe sort of jazzy, maybe it's not jazzy, but folky version of it that I think is really good. But what's interesting is that this is it's an old. I should have read through this better. So it's what's the word?
It's a spiritual.
It's a spiritual, and it's given, the credit's given, that's what its credit is given to a guy named John Wesley Work Jr., who he was a son of a church choir director, and he grew up in Nashville loving music. And he went on to become the first African-American collector of Negro spirituals, and this is one of the
cool.
ones that he had. And then I think he published a couple books, and this came out in the second volume that it was published, and from then it caught on and people started singing it. I think it's got a really nice tune as well to it, and I enjoy singing
I
it.
really like that. I almost picked that one in our hymnal. That's one of my favorites. And last year at our church's Otterman's preschool program, the preschool kids sang this at the end of their program, and we all got to sing along, and it was that's the best rendition is these kids singing this song. Of course, they're preschoolers, so they don't, the verses are a little harder, but boy, you get to the chorus and they were all over it. Yeah, so that was
get
fun.
that chorus knocked out of the park. Okay, what do you have for number 2? I've not heard about this one either. I must be missing out.
Some Children See Him is one of the Alfred Burke carols, and probably not very many people have ever heard of Alfred Burt carols. But see, my mom had a Christmas album of the King Family Singers, and I listened to that every year, and they did a lot of choral arrangements. And so they did some of these Alfred Burt carols. That's the first time I'd ever heard them. When I became a choir director, then I found them. Oh, these are like actual, standard carols. So the history is, I think this is really interesting. Bates Burt started writing a Christmas carol every year, and he would put it in his Christmas cards that he sent out. Can you imagine, you open a Christmas card from your friend and it's got like a song in it that they wrote? And so he did that every year, and then his son Alfred took over. And so he did that. And so this song, Willa Hudson wrote the lyrics, and she was a friend of the Burt family, and they were all together one night at the Burt home, and they were talking about how children see Jesus, and she realized that every child is going to see Jesus like them. And so the song is, some children see him lily white, some children see him dark as they, some children see him almond-eyed with skin of yellow hue. And so it just goes through these different perspectives of children, and and it just kind of sums up everybody. Children see Jesus like them, because we don't really know what Jesus looked like. We don't have a description.
Yeah.
So kids know what they know, and that's how they're going to picture him. And I don't know, I just always really liked those lyrics. Yeah, so.
Well, that's cool. I'll have to check that one out too. That's one I'm not aware of either. Okay, my number one, and it probably is my favorite song that I listen at Christmas, is What Christmas Means to Me by Stevie Wonder. Now, there's been other artists that have recorded it, but he was the one that originated it. I think it came out in his 1967 Christmas album, which I probably filled up most of these with just Stevie Wonder songs from that album, because I really enjoy that. Because you got this, and then another good one is Someday at Christmas. That's another good one too. So I could have probably filled this up with Stevie Wonder songs, but I just picked this one right here. But that one, when I hear that one, it just it gets me in the mood for Christmas. I just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I got no facts other than that. It came out in 1976 or 1967.
Susan commented that James Taylor's version is nice, and I don't know. I'm assuming you mean Some Children See Him, because I really like that version that he does to James Taylor.
Okay.
Tony says Little Drummer Boy by Chicago is his favorite version of that one. Normally, I cannot stand the Little Drummer Boy.
I can't either. That's one of my least favorite. Yeah. It's got no basis in theology, right?
No.
Was there actually a drummer boy in the Bible?
No, because there's some funny meme that comes out this time of year, where it's like, yes, that's what every mother of a newborn wants, a drummer. A child drummer at that. And Mary Kate says, Go Tell It on the Mountain was one of her mom's favorites to sing. Oh, Sandy Baker likes Little Drummer Boy.
Oh, wow.
Paige likes both Still, Still, Still and Wexford, so she knows both of those.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay, so...
Let's see your number one, though.
Number one. So, this is... mine are not in a particular order, but I just really like White Christmas.
Yeah.
It's such a standard, and I like snow, just as I was saying earlier. I was excited when it snowed, because I like snow, especially at Christmas time. Because when I was a kid, it snowed a lot in Indiana.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were kind of like East Central Indiana, I guess. And I mean, I was probably 12 the year the big blizzard, and we were stuck at home out of school for 2 weeks at least. It was crazy, but that was just every winter. I went sledding. I went out and found a patch of ice in the field that was big enough to skate on, and now it's just like we hardly ever get any snow. So I like White Christmas. Irving Berlin wrote that. He wrote tons of songs for musicals and movies. And he wrote this one for the movie Holiday Inn in 1942. And then, of course, they made the movie White Christmas, and it was in that. But it was
so it wasn't in White. Okay, so White Christmas was not the first time. It was okay.
It was in Holiday Inn.
Who sang it? Do you know who star was?
Bing Crosby in both of them.
He sang the same song in both.
I think so.
That's impressive.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but
the first
I've
movie wasn't
seen
good
both of
enough.
those
Okay, we
movies.
want to do another movie. We want you to sing the exact same song.
No, it's a different story.
Yeah, but they want to sing the exact same
song, But they
song,
sang
right?
the same. Well, because it was such a hit. Why wouldn't? I mean, clearly they're like, hey, let's just make a movie and call it after the song. So yeah, why not?
They should have done another movie, and he's just kept singing it in each movie.
Sandy loves snow too. Thank you, Sandy.
White Christmas is
Tony
good.
Sellers says "Bare Naked for the Holidays" is also a fun album.
So
I put one of those.
You did, and I was going to go to that. So I posted on Friday. Our Finally Friday post was what are your favorite songs that get you in the mood for Christmas? And I'll just run through a couple. So there are a couple that say "Silent Night" and "O Come All Ye Faithful." I know Mary Kate has a really good story about "Silent Night" of why it's one of her favorites. It helped her through a hard time, first Christmas after her mom passed away. And then a couple people say, maybe just one, Straight No Chaser, the 12 Days of Christmas. I have not heard that one. Maybe I have. Maybe you played it for me last year.
No.
Maybe not. Okay.
I don't have that. But yeah, Straight No Chaser. Isn't that out at IU?
Yes, it is. You're right.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. And then Nutcracker Suite. Rachel had Nutcracker Suite. You have posted Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and also, the Bare Naked Ladies.
Chicago's version.
Oh, that's right, Chicago's version.
Although Manhattan Transfer also has a good version of that. Santa Claus is Coming to Town. But yes, Elf's Lament, quite different.
I've not heard that one. I don't know if I'm
familiar with that. You gotta listen to the Bare Naked Ladies.
I'm not cultured, apparently.
You gotta listen to Bare Naked Ladies. I didn't know they, long time ago, a friend gave me that Christmas album, and I was like, how have I missed this? This is awesome.
I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah.
I think you and some other people have told me about it. What's funny is I think the people that have told me about it are all pastors. I was like, that's pretty funny that they all like the Bare Naked Ladies Christmas album.
Yeah, because it's got some religious songs on it, but then I don't know. So I don't know where their mind is in their Christmas thoughts, but. It's just a fun album, but
I'm surprised Chicago did not make the list at all. Maybe they have good songs, but not your favorite songs. Probably if we're talking about artists.
Know. You told me that I couldn't have my whole list be Chicago, so I didn't.
So you didn't
I just put one on Friday.
Okay.
So that was my hat tip to Chicago on Friday.
So we talked about favorite songs. I think we need at least to acknowledge what are some of our least favorite songs.
Okay.
So the first one I mentioned, I just don't like Little Drummer Boy. I never did. I just find I don't know. Whenever I hear it on the radio, I got to turn it off. So my apologies to you that like that. I know Tony has told me in the past. I haven't experienced it till I experienced it with Chicago.
Yeah.
But
you might like it that way.
But then the other one I don't like is We Three Kings.
Uh-huh.
I just feel that it's monotonous and just goes on and on and on. And I don't think it's even based on any theology, right?
Biblical bearing. We know there were 3 gifts.
Yeah.
We do not know how many wise men there were.
So why is that a hymn? How'd that make the hymns, the cut, if it's not based off any theology?
I don't know. That would not have been my choice. Because then, well, part of it is because there's an opera called Amal and the Night Visitors. And that's where the names, Melchior, Caspar, whatever, that's where the names of the wise men come from. But that is not in the Bible.
Okay.
So.
I just thought about this. Do you remember the claymation, the California Raisins? You ever remember that? No. They did a song. They did a Christmas special back in the '80s. They did a song for We Three Kings. It actually is pretty hilarious, but it still doesn't change my mind that.
Yeah.
That's my least favorite.
Yeah.
What are some of your least favorite songs?
Dominic the Christmas Donkey. Which honestly, I have never heard that outside of the Sounds of the Season on the cable.
They actually play it on.
They have it's like Music Choice.
Yeah.
The Music Choice. Yeah. It's just Sounds of the Season.
And they'll actually play Dominic the Donkey on
that. When I used to listen to that station, they played it so much. Yeah, and I'd have to turn it off because it was just. I can't do the hee-hawing.
That's what breaks it for you, is the hee-hawing?
Well, the whole thing was pretty ridiculous. But anyway, there is a funny music video of it though.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes it a little.
So Dominic the donkey.
Yeah, the Christmas donkey, I think. And
Dominic
then
the
I
Christmas
don't like
donkey.
Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Yeah, I
It's
could,
not-
yeah. If
Just
I hear it,
idea
I'll
for
probably
me.
turn the different rate. I'll turn a different station. That is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I know you used to play, or you still do maybe in the spare time, the organ.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever, like, when you were playing for church in the Advent season, was there ever a hymn that you saw was on the plan and you're like, oh, I got to play this song again? Were there any hymns, Christmas hymns, that you did not like playing? Maybe We Three
I don't-
Kings?
I don't think so. But what stands out for me in church music is that for years I did the children's musicals at Christmas, and Joy to the World was almost always in there. Hark the Herald Angels was almost always in there, and I don't mind Hark the Herald Angels because I'd go sing it like the Peanuts Christmas, and then they would kind of get into it. But Joy to the World is a little hard for kids to sing, or the Angels We Have Heard on High, Glow. That's kind of hard for kids to sing too. But the best part was when they would have the carol, Good Christian Friends Rejoice.
Okay.
Because in the first verse, it says, ox and ass before him bow. And there's nothing better than telling a bunch of elementary boys that they can sing ass. So, they just, that was fun. I'm like, why would you put that in a children's musical?
Well, I think it even goes, I remember when I don't know, I was like 10 or something, I think there was a hymn that I remember singing in church, and it had the word ass in it. My parents started cracking up. And they're like, what, 35 then? And they found it hilarious then, right?
It's,
So,
yeah.
What do you, it's always funny when ass makes its appearance in the hymn.
Yes.
Well, fun. I guess any other comments, any of your thoughts on the
what about the hippopotamus song?
hippopotamus for Christmas?
Yeah.
I
Susan is asking.
I guess I didn't like it when I first heard it, but it's grown on me. I think I actually enjoy it.
I kind of learned to like it.
Yeah, I have too.
In the last couple of years.
It's acquired.
So I don't know. I don't know how the rest of you feel about the hippopotamus song. Tony doesn't like hearing the chipmunks. It gets old fast.
Oh, Christmas? No, what is that? I can't remember what it's. It's not Christmas time. It's here because that was Tara Brown. It was.
But when I was in high school, the choir director always said I had chipmunk cheeks, which my face was fuller when I was younger, but and so I just kind of embraced it, and then got a couple of friends and talked her into letting us do the chipmunk song, the
okay.
Christmas time is here. Yeah,
Yeah, I know it.
And so
well, fun.
I just embraced that, but I don't think I want to listen to a whole album of chipmunks.
I'm sure if you're a kid, it's enjoyable, but if you're an adult, it probably gets old fast. Well, cool. I'll go back to the fire so we can enjoy that. Go back. So, appreciate you watching us tonight. Hope you had fun talking about some of our favorite Christmas songs. If there are more that you think of, or if you're watching this after the live recording or the live stream, put them in the comments here. Love to hear what other songs you have. Like I said, I'll see if I can create some sort of playlist on YouTube that has some of these songs that people can listen to.
That'd be fun.
Because there are a couple that I want to listen that I've never heard of before.
And you will not put the songs that we don't like on there, right?
I don't know. Maybe I'll disguise Dominic the
No,
Donkey.
you can't. You can't put that on there.
So then, looking forward, this Thursday we'll start an Advent series, and it's be something a little bit new this time, right? You want to give some additional information?
On Sunday, I put a post out there that, and I think I pinned it to the top of the top of our page, where you can read the scriptures and then ponder the questions, and we will talk about it more in depth live on Thursday at 7. And both of us will be sharing our answers, our thoughts, and we invite you to share yours in the comments as we go along. So it'll be a little bit different, but we'll see how that goes.
Be a conversation like this, but then we'll also have Greg here, and I think we just like I said last week, we're gonna let Greg loose on whatever songs he wants to play.
Gonna do.
Maybe one of the top songs we picked.
Hopefully he's not doing Dominic the Christmas Donkey.
I don't know if he knows that one.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
There we go. And then we'll be back again next Monday. We're going to do another top 5 for Christmas, but this time it'll be top 5 favorite Christmas movies.
All right.
So
Fun.
look for that also posting on Friday. I'd be curious to get your top 5 or your favorite Christmas movies as well. And I think that's everything. So again, appreciate you watching. I just realized that I have no way to end the live stream, so I'm to get up awkwardly and go over there. But appreciate you watching tonight. Maybe you can give some ending words of wisdom as I try to
words of wisdom.
fumble my way out.
Yeah, so listen to your favorite Christmas songs and let that help you get into the mood. And yeah, so until Thursday, have a great week.